I originally came across this dessert on Twitter from Luke of Tusk2. I'm going to be putting an image right here so you can see his work. I'm also going to be putting a link down below of his tweet so you can show him some love, as well as the original creator of the recipe. Now let's talk ingredients. You're going to start with 1 large egg yolk. I was pretty confused when I saw large eggs because I didn't know eggs don't come in one size. 1 tablespoon of whole milk, 2 sticks of butter. You can choose salted or unsalted. However, if you're gonna use unsalted butter, add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. But since I'm too lazy for that, I just bought salted butter. 2 teaspoons of matcha green tea powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2/3 cup of granulated sugar, and a few drops of green food coloring. This is an optional step, but important if you want that furniture leaf color. For the filling, we'll be using 100 grams of white chocolate chips, 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, and 1 cup of icing sugar. The most important thing you're going to want to need for this recipe is this cookie cutter in the shape of furniture or the leaf from Animal Crossing. I got this off the cookie trade on Etsy, and I'm going to put a link in the description down below so you can get one for yourself. Now that we have all the ingredients, let's get to baking. The first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit before you do anything. Once you've done that, you're going to want to start off with your butter. Take the 2 sticks and place them into a large mixing bowl. And then you're going to want to take your hand mixer and beat them until they're light and fluffy. Next, you're going to want to add your granulated sugar into this mixture, and then you're going to want to mix it until it is light, creamy, and fluffy. And this may take a few minutes to do. We're going to put the mixer on the side for now because we're going to work on a different mixture in a different bowl. And we're going to be adding our wets and our matcha powder. All right, so I'm adding the egg yolk, the milk, the vanilla extract, and the matcha powder. Instead of using a hand mixer this time, I'm going to be using a whisk because the hand mixer would be far too messy for this. And you're going to want to whisk this up until it's well combined. So now that we're done with this mixture, you're going to want to combine it into the first mixture that we made and hand mix them until they are also well combined. It might look really gross and look like puke at first, but it's okay because that's why we're adding food coloring. Now we're going to take our hand mixer again and then beat all together until it is well combined. If you want a light color, then it's best to add 3 drops. I want it to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to add just a few more, but don't add too much because with green food coloring, you can actually turn your mixture gray, and I don't think you would want that. All right. So I added about 5. I'm going to mix it and then see how that looks, and if anything, I will add more or keep it as is. Keep in mind that it's going to actually get lighter when it's in the oven, so you kind of want it to be a little bit darker than before you put it in. So the color does look good, but I'm gonna add maybe like 1 or 2 more drops and dare myself. If it does come out gray, then well, screw me, but after you get the mixture to the color that you want, you're gonna wanna add your 2 cups of flour into it. Once you've done that, you're actually gonna wanna take a spatula now and fold it instead of using a hand mixer. If you saw my last video, you saw me folding in the mixture, you're gonna wanna do the same thing. So it's just scoop, cut, cut, scoop, cut, cut, and just keep doing it until it's all combined, which might take a long time, but it's okay. All right, I'm getting a little tired, so I think I'm gonna grab a whiskey. It's a 6 p.m. somewhere. Oof. Oh, that's way too. All right, let's continue. All right, so you're gonna take everything, drop it on one of these. I actually really like the color. So this is about, I wanna say like 6 to 8 drops. Typically, the recipe does not say to put it in the fridge, but after I made this the first time, I thought it'd be better to put it in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes, just so you can get that shape properly when you cut it out with the cookie cutter. I'll wrap this baby up. I think I said that in the last video too. Everything is a baby. So while we're waiting for the dough to set, we're gonna be working on our frosting. You're gonna wanna add your heavy cream to your white chocolate chips. And then you're gonna wanna place it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Make sure it does not burn. You're gonna want it just slightly melted, and then you're gonna mix it yourself after. All right, so we're gonna use a spoon to mix our mixture up. So this is actually perfect. So I put this in for 30 seconds and just make sure everything is all melted together. Look at that, man. Look at that consistency. Once you're done mixing it, it actually should look kind of like condensed milk. So before we place this into the confectionery icing, we're actually gonna want to cool it off so that it doesn't, I guess, melt or something with the icing. Some fucking baking science, man. So let's place this thing in the fridge and hopefully our cookies will be done. Take that, put that on there. Sprinkle a little bit more flour onto it. So my house does not have a rolling pin and I did not want to spend money on a rolling pin. So we're gonna make our own rolling pin. Perfect. So to prevent the spread of any viruses, we're going to wrap this in plastic. All right, now we're gonna use this and we're gonna roll this baby out. Whee! It works! Oh, you're gonna want to have your dough pretty thin. They don't necessarily rise when you cook them either, so you want it to be relatively as you want it after it's baked. So what I found out is that when you take your cookies and place them on the baking sheet, you want to flip some of them over so that each of them has a nice like front and back side to it that has like a nice green color and doesn't look like burnt at the bottom. So I'm gonna do the old-fashioned way. Or kind of like take everything around it. So the one thing I would say is watch out for the stem because the stem is the most fragile part of this. Nice. Oh, me now. Oh, me now. Oh, me now. Oh, me now. Wait, now, now, wait. Oh, me now. Wait. Me now. Oh, me now. Now, now, wait. Oh, me. Oh, now, wait. Now, wait. Now, wait. Now, wait. Now, now, wait. Oh, wait. All right, so now that we've cut out all of the cookies and placed them on the baking sheets, they are ready to bake. Some of them might look a little bit janky, but trust me, once they're all baked and put together, it'll look a lot better. So we're gonna take these and we're gonna pop them into the oven for about 10 minutes or until golden on the sides. Awesome. So now that our cookies are in the oven, we're going to continue finishing our icing. Once your mixture of white chocolate and cream have finished cooling down, we're going to add them to our confectionery sugar. It is going to be a little bit thick, so you do want to mix it up a little bit and then place it into the bowl. We're going to use a hand mixer just because the mixture is a little bit on the thicker side as well. So I'm here to inform you that I messed up. Rather than putting the hot cream and chocolate into the icing sugar, you're gonna wanna put the hot mixture in one bowl and then slowly put the icing sugar into that bowl and hand mix it. Because if you don't, it's just gonna be crumbly and it's not gonna work out. So we have the actual one, thanks to my roommate. And yeah, so now we're going to pipe it in this Ziploc piping bag. It's super easy. You're just gonna wanna take your mixture, use a spatula, put it in here, and then cut the little tip off. All right, once that's done, you have your very own custom DIY whatever piping bag. All right, so now that your cookies are cooled down and you made your piping bag, we're gonna assemble the cookies. Pipe some frosting on here. You don't want too much because you don't want it to like get out on the sides. So just like that, I think is perfect. And then take your other side, plop it on there. You got your first cookie. Gonna start moving on to the rest of them, and then once they're all done, I'll show you how it looks. So now you're done. So these actually came out really good. If you watched my last video, you know the disaster that it was, but these actually look super nice. And we're gonna do a taste test to see if they actually look or taste as good as they look. Okay, surprisingly, these are a lot better than I thought they would be. The white chocolate's a really nice touch. You can't really taste the matcha in this. So you might want to add more if you want the taste of it. I personally don't like matcha too much, so I'm fine with it. And the cookie is super soft. Definitely would recommend making it a lot thinner like it is here. Yeah. So I really hope these turn out well for you guys. If you do decide to make these, please tag us at Anime Impulse on Instagram and Twitter. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram at coco.ro or on Twitter at kokorocos_. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to our channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below. If you want to see more videos like this, please comment what you want us to make. Anything from anime, video games, etc. I hope you guys have fun playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. I know we will. I'm going to be trapped in my room for the next few months in Animal Crossing hell, so I hope you guys will be too. See you guys in the next video.